The Supreme Court today heard the petition of Aam Aadmi Party councillor who was praying for a re-election for the Chandigarh mayoral polls. But before we get to what the CJI Mr Chandrachud said against the presiding officer Anil Masih, who hit the headlines after his video went viral of defacing the ballot papers, on which the CJI had called in the previous hearing that how it is the murder of democracy, all that went to another level in today's hearing when the CJI, in a rare sight, called him up in front in the courtroom and started grilling the presiding officer, Mr. Anil Masih. But we'll get to that. Before that, we'll also let you know that what all the political developments which happened 24 hours before this hearing took place in Supreme Court. And to understand that, we'll have to get to the number game. In the 35-member House of the Chandigarh Municipal Corporation, BJP had 14 MCs plus one vote of the Member of Parliament, Mrs. Kiran Kher, who is also the ex officio member and who also has the voting rights. With her inclusion, BJP had 15 votes. Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress jointly have 20 candidates, so they were comfortably placed in the 35-member House to have the magic figure of 19. But on 30th January, when the voting happened, the presiding officer, Mr. Anil Masih, cancelled 8 votes which were cast in favor of the joint candidature of Aam Aadmi Party and Congress, and after which BJP won the mayoral polls. After that, the Aam Aadmi Party approached the High Court, and simultaneously when the High Court didn't give them any interim or immediate relief, the Aam Aadmi Party approached Supreme Court. In the Supreme Court's previous hearing earlier this month, the Supreme Court's Chief Justice Mr. Chandrachud, D.Y. Chandrachud, saw the entire video of the proceeding where he saw that how Anil Masih, the presiding officer, was using his pen to write on the ballot votes. And after which he said that it appears that the presiding officer has done the death of democracy, why he has been damaging or defacing the votes. And today, in that particular hearing, the CJI grilled the presiding officer Anil Masih, also asked him to come up in front and started asking him simply that have you defaced the ballot paper? And once he agreed to that, once he confirmed that, then the CJI said that why have you done that, and this presiding officer must be prosecuted. But later, it was all the oral observations of the court. What actually the court said, a very significant point, is that the CJI said that what we propose to do this is that we will direct the Deputy Commissioner to appoint a fresh returning officer who is not aligned to any political party, since Anil Masih happened to be the member of BJP's minority cell in Chandigarh. He also went on to say that the process shall be taken to the logical conclusion from the stage it is stopped before the declaration of the results. So what actually the Supreme Court has said that tomorrow, yet again, the hearing will be done in the Supreme Court regarding the same mayoral polls, and from where the process had stopped, it will resume the entire process and evaluate it. Now, how the Supreme Court will evaluate the process is that it has asked the Registrar General of High Court of Punjab and Haryana High Court, who was asked in the previous hearing to sort of take all the records, all the ballot papers, to present it in front of the Supreme Court tomorrow. And the CJI, with a neutral returning officer, will sort of evaluate whether all those 8 votes which were cast or which were declared invalid, whether in genuine, whether to say that whether really they were cast in, whether really those votes were not cast in a way it should have been, or whether Mr. Masih had deliberately declared them invalid by using his pen. Now, why this is important? Because just today, 24 hours before today's hearing, yesterday, what did the BJP do? That the BJP inducted 3 AAP municipal councillors, which now gives them numerical strength in the 35-member House. And its mayor also resigned, thereby necessitating a re-election. But the Supreme Court has now said that it will start evaluating everything from where the process had stopped. The process had stopped when the voting happened, and now since if we go by the numbers before yesterday's switch over by the Aam Aadmi Party into BJP, the AAP and Congress had numbers with them. After which the voting happened, and 8 votes were invalid, and BJP managed to win it because those 8 votes in favor of AAP and Congress's candidate didn't work out. Now what will happen, that despite having numbers with BJP, the old election, the previous election which happened on 30th of January, that process is still remains valid. That will be evaluated to see whether all those votes which were declared invalid were actually faulty or not. So based on that, and also the Supreme Court took cognizance of what happened yesterday, that how 3 members of Aam Aadmi Party or 3 councillors of Aam Aadmi Party switched over to the BJP with Supreme Court Chief Justice Mr Chandrachud saying that it is a matter of grave concern. The issue of horse trading is a matter of concern. Now we'll have to see whether all these verbal observations make it to the written order by the Supreme Court, because last time the Supreme Court had said that Anil Masih is responsible for the death of democracy and he must be prosecuted, but in the written order there was no such mention of filing an FIR against Mr Anil Masih. And even today, despite grilling him, the Chief Justice has said that he must be prosecuted, but we are waiting for the written order to see. And now tomorrow yet again the hearing will continue. The records, all the ballot papers will be presented in front of Mr. D.Y. Chandrachud, the Chief Justice of India in the Supreme Court, who is hearing this case today, and tomorrow perhaps we'll get to know that whether Mr. Anil Masih will be prosecuted or not, because CJI very clearly said that he has agreed for defacing the ballot paper and he must be prosecuted. Now, whether he will be prosecuted or not, the final order will sort of throw some light on that, and tomorrow yet again the hearing will continue. All the records will be brought in front of the courtroom, and Mr. Masih has yet again been ordered to present in the courtroom. So tomorrow we will see whether Aam Aadmi Party and Congress's joint mayoral candidate manages to win the elections or not, based on the counting which will happen in the courtroom. In Chandigarh, Mohammad Ghazali for NDTV.